Hello and welcome to UseIt's tutorial on finding an internship in the USA. So we're just going to talk to you a little bit about what's needed. I know you guys are straight out of college, so you're probably a little bit what happens next, but just to go through the main thing, which a lot of people kind of leave aside, is resume. Resume is very different to an Irish CV. The first thing is it's one page only and it's quality over quantity. Um, Rather than trying and invent the wheel, go to Word. You'll all have that if you're recent graduates. Go to File, New, and it comes up with a little search icon. So in the search icon, just put in resume, and it'll give you loads of templates, and you can pick whichever you like. But again, one page, and keep it relevant. So we don't want to hear about your pub work or your babysitting or your cinema work or your whatever kind of non-experience. So keep it relevant. If you don't have any work experience in your field, discuss the projects that you studied, or that you completed on your degree or your master's, or the thesis or your dissertation. And again, leaving cert means nothing to Americans, so don't be putting your leaving cert points on. Know that you're a level 8 piano player or anything like that. Keep it to the point. I cannot stress that enough. Here is just a typical sample of what a resume looks like. It's clear, it's to the point. Profile picture, that's a personal choice whether you want to put one up or not. But your contact phone number, your website, email address. If you don't have a phone number, or if it's an Irish number, you can just leave it off and just put your email address on. Um, and then just your basic education, your work experience. Again, one page. Do not go over the one page. No references or anything like that. There's loads of different types, but this is just the first one that popped up when I did resume, and looked for the templates. So finding an internship, just to be very clear, is the don't get too bogged down by the term internship. So focus on what it is you're actually going to be learning about. American managers look for strong work ethic, and an internship is to prove yourself. So self-starter is a real buzzword in the US. Everybody wants to make sure that you are learning, gaining further skills, etc. Don't be modest, Irish people. Everybody's very modest about how we actually portray ourselves. The US is not like that. We tend to be quite shy, so make sure you paint yourself in the best possible light. Don't forget to change your LinkedIn profile and location before traveling. We find a lot of our interns by going straight onto LinkedIn. So a lot of the times people don't know that that they haven't applied for the position, but we might go straight after them because we found them on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is key. So make sure your LinkedIn is up to date. Put a photo on there, nice, professional, and again, this is not Facebook, it's LinkedIn. So this is a professional network. So make sure you keep it nice and clean. Go on to some websites. I've listed some there, but I have some websites further on. But internships, Look Sharp, and Graduate Land are the main ones that people look at. And just remember that employers are unlikely to hire you prior to departure. So generally, they want to see you in the country before they'll give you an interview. So just to give you an outline, the timeline for finding an internship prior to travel. So the first thing is turn your CV into a resume, and use it for advice on how to do this. So we would absolutely encourage you, you don't need to do this, but we would encourage you to send over your resume once you have it completed and let us take a look at it. 9 times out of 10, we're sending CVs back saying this is not clear, we don't know what you're actually looking for here, or you're putting too much information that's not relevant. So please use it for advice, and that's what we're here for. Just pop along on an email to us, and we will check it for you, and we will put our notes and our feedback and send it back to you. We won't do it for you, but we will give our feedback on it and put notes in where we see you should make some changes. Start to seek your internship, obviously, before you actually travel. Set up your LinkedIn account, search the websites. Again, I'll show you more later on. And request assistance from your own personal network. So see if you're going to New York and somebody's in marketing, see if anybody in your college has done that in the past, how they got on, who's on your Facebook group, Instagram, anything like that. Does your mom's friend or your dad's friend know somebody in New York? Use those networks, because the US is all about networking. Use your local websites in the city to which you are traveling to as well. That's very helpful. And also check in with Use It and ask where your previous interns have worked in the past. So we keep a list of where people have worked in, previous interns have worked in the past. So we would be more than happy to send them on to you, and you can contact the companies. At least the companies will know about the program, so you can contact the companies and ask them to see if any internships are available. Send resume and cover letters to these companies and apply to as many as possible before traveling. So we say at least between 20 and 50 positions. So this isn't a casual kind of sit back and relax, an internship is going to fall into my lap. It's not. Don't think of it that you're moving to the States. Think of it even if you're moving to a different county. This is the kind of work that you should be doing if you're looking for any position that's even outside your own area. You should be applying to as many positions as possible. So the first 30 days in the US, you need to contact CIEE on the number listed on this note and register with CVIS. Then follow up with the companies where you sent your resume and let them know that you're in the country and you'd like to meet them face to face. Try and schedule at least 10 interviews for over the next 30 days if that's possible. If more, absolutely go for more, but at least 10. And CIEE will remind you throughout this process that you have 60 days to find your internship. So the time starts ticking. Now, just a reminder, that first 30 days in the US, that is when your visa starts. So if you're traveling 30 days on the 30 days before your visa starts, this doesn't apply. So it's only when your visa actually starts. Some of you may want to fly 30 days before the actual DS 2019 starts. So this is only when your visa starts. So just a reminder. Between days 30 and 60, you need to attend the interviews that you've set up and explain to the companies that you're on an internship visa, and that if you're offered a position, the company will need to fill in an online training plan, and you can invite them through your Beacon account. It just says invite host company, and they can start filling in the training plan. So keep detailed notes on which companies you'd like to stay connected with. So I always think it's very handy to put up an Excel spreadsheet and know the companies that you hit, see where you need to follow up, and the companies that you have interviews with. So Excel spreadsheets are really good for that. Once you've attended your interview, follow up the same day as your interview and send thank you notes to the company for their time and the interview. This is very important, and it's just a matter of courtesy. Okay, so day 60 in the US, you must check in with CIEE. Again, they're your sponsor. They're making sure that you're complying with regulations on the program. They will ask you, if you haven't found an intern position within 60 days, they will ask you to send a financial security statement. It's also known as an FSS, to show proof that you have access to at least $1,000 per month for the next 2 months or longer. So you want to make sure that you are actually supporting yourself. You can also submit a guarantor letter from a parent or a guardian to show that you're going to be covered financially for your entire program. Or you can submit a screenshot of your bank account and email it over to CIEE. So days between 60 and 90, again, this is after your DS 2019 start date, not when you enter the country. You should be attending your second interviews. Attend and ask them what their hiring guidelines is, or their timelines are. So does it take 2 months to be hired, 3 months to be hired, a month to be hired? Find out exactly what it is so you know what you're looking at. You may get multiple offers from employers. If you do get multiple offers from employers, you need to select the training that best matches your educational and career goals. So we can only assess one training plan at a time. So make sure you're picking the right one for them to fill in the training plan. You can't have multiple companies filling in a training plan, just one at a time. You need to call in to CIEE and get instructions on how to begin the internship approval process. It can take CIEE up to 15 business days to process your DS7002. So you can take them 15 business days to give you the go-ahead to start working in your internship. So you cannot start your internship until CIEE approves it. If you reach day 90 in the US, this is your deadline to find an internship. So if you haven't found an internship with 90 days from your DS 2019 start date, you may be subject to program withdrawal and you'll need to contact CIEE. So basically that means if you haven't found an internship 90 days after your visa start date, you will have to return back to Ireland. Here is a list of websites. Contact us, contact Use It, and we can send you on a list of websites that are good if you don't want to take them all down. But here's some of the good ones that people actually check in with. And just to recap on selecting an internship, what is an internship? Just to recap on that, I know the first video showed what an internship is, but just make sure that you know that you are not allowed to fill a labour need by taking a regular employment position. So an internship is typically a fixed length position that is considered a first or entry level professional experience. They are there for you to learn, gain further experience within your field, and that you need constant supervision. So it's not for you to go off and do your own thing. You can be helping your employer in completing tasks, but you need to be learning and along the way. So that's something to kind of watch out for. Internships are designed to benefit you rather than accomplish a task. So just remember that's something that can only be approved by CIEE. Your internships can be paid or unpaid, and once some of the regs on that is it must be at least 32 hours a week, and they must hold a tax ID, which obviously every company has a tax ID if it's a bona fide company, and they must hold workers' compensation policies, which again most companies will have. Nearly all companies will have workers' compensation policies, and we do have a list of opportunities in the CIEE's website, so you can have a list of occupations that will be ineligible for the program. So just to recap, regular employment is when you are filling a labour need. So it's something that that is taking a job away from an American worker. Filling a labour need means you're only completing tasks or reaching goals for a company rather than receiving a trainee that is focused on you. So for an example, if you were a marketing graduate and you went into a marketing department, you need to be learning all the different aspects of social media, advertising, all the different areas, all the different facets within the marketing area. You can't be going in and running the department or just running that area. You have to show that there's learning elements in there and that you are learning and progressing. Other tips and tricks for this one is make it clear that you're not looking for sponsorship. Again, we addressed this in the first video. So a simple line like, I have an opportunity to train in the US for 12 months on an internship visa where my sponsor will be CIEE in your cover email, to make it clear that you're your employer. Or if you're speaking to them, you're telling them that I have a visa and I have a sponsor. I'm just looking for somewhere to train. That's really, really important, and that will quite often sway the minds of, if a lot of people go in asking for sponsorship, you don't want to do that. You have a sponsor already. Make use of all your personal contacts, so reach out to your friends, acquaintances in the US, anybody you know, use them as your network. And if your employer requests more information on the program, you can always we can give you a letter explaining the program in more detail. Contact use it, or you can refer them to the employer's website, the cie.org/hire. So that's the employee's website, or the employer's website, excuse me. Also, if you do find you're looking for more information for the employer to fill in, there is a section under your Beacon account, and it's called your application process, and you'll find all your host organisation letters as well. The quick one is restricted fields are education, healthcare, social care, tourism and hospitality, health and fitness, agriculture and retail. These are listed, more information on this is listed on the Use It website under industries and restricted fields, so please make sure you review them. On a final note, again, a reminder, it is solely up to you to find your internship. Use It or CIE do not assist with this. So it's completely up to you to check in and see what you are eligible for, how many places are available, but it's completely your responsibility. So do as much research as possible before you're actually traveling. And make sure that research internships are readily available in your field before you actually travel out. And resilience is key also to note. So if you don't get one internship, you just keep at it. You keep at it, you keep at it, you keep at it. Resilience is one of the most, I think, important words you will learn throughout this whole process. And that's it. So good luck on your internship search. If you have any questions on it at all, please contact the workusa@useit.ie. And if you're already booked on the program, which you are, make sure you reach out to us to check your CV. And make sure it's into resume format, and reach out to us so we can help you with where people have worked in the past. That's it. Thank you.